I'm gonna head down into town, get the oil change and the brakes replaced, brake pads replaced. I'm gonna be rolling out today. So that's the plan. We're gonna get stuff cleaned up and get out of here today. Good morning. The Gulf Coast calls. Before we leave town though, we're gonna head into well, there's a little run. It's one of the 3 runs that they call the Twisted Sisters. So there's 3 runs that kind of go back through the hill country down here in Texas. One of those 3 goes in the general direction that I need to start my trip in, and then I'll ride it straight back east, hard east, and that'll move me in the right direction, of course bringing me back south of Kerrville and on toward the Gulf Coast, towards Houston essentially. And ultimately Houston would be the goal for this evening. I'm thinking that I'll just be sleeping somewhere along the road here this evening out near Houston. So nothing we haven't done before, but that's the goal, that's what we're thinking. And right now it is a little bit misty. I did notice that this road specifically, you see how it's like a brown, I don't know what it's called, so it's not this blacktop. That blacktop is really good. I mean, you can, even wet, you can lean the bike, you can roll into the turns and stuff, but this brown right here, this stuff's slick. When I was coming in, my back tire did slide a little bit. I mean, it very easily could have turned into a low side event. So this road, this type of road, if you see this out there, just be cautious, because if it looks like this, I know I'm going to be cautious if I run into a road that looks like this in the future, because I didn't know. And it was a, well, it was a scary experience. I learned my lesson. Usually that's how lessons are learned, right? You learn them hard. You got to get your head busted. So we learned a little lesson without getting our head totally busted open, and I think that's a positive. Any motorcycle shop that's keeping pot-bellied pigs as mascots in the front office, man, they're worth stopping by to check out. So check these guys out. It's Lost Souls Motorcycle here in Kerrville, Texas. And I'm starting to think that there's more rain coming down than I want to admit, because I keep wiping my shield off. Oh well. Raining is riding. So last night I'm messaging my daughter, she's 13. She has started to ride a little bit with her old man, and I'm just like a little bit. I'm telling you, we'll go up and get Chinese together. That's about it. You know, so she's on the bike for all of 30 minutes, you know, up and back. But she really digs it. She's really having a good time with the motorcycle, and she asks if we can go for a run, you know, go do something, even, you know, go get Chinese. That's usually the question. Can we get Chinese? And I'm like, you mean you want to ride the motorcycle? Like, yeah. So I'm messaging my daughter last night, and I told her that we're down here in Texas. This hurricane is coming through, and we're just getting dumped on. You know, it's a lot of raining. I said, but I'm hunkered down, I'm dry. And she goes, well, that's part of the sport. Raining is riding. You know, she's telling me that's just part of the sport. And I said, yeah, it is. Look at that. Even my 13-year-old daughter, she understands. It's just part of the sport. It's easy to say that you enjoy riding motorcycle until things get ugly, though, right? It's whenever riding gets ugly that it gets real. It's like, oh, it's raining and we got to do that for 2 or 3 hours before we get to our camp, or we get to the hotel or something like that, or there's expenses to it. You know, it's like right now I need to get an oil change to get these brakes fixed, you know, and what a bummer, but you just have to do it. The hardship I've found is how you generate the value in the good. Yeah, get it. Get it. Not that much though, because this road, I'm telling you, this road is like, I got to take it easy on it. I used that center lane there for a minute because, well, I needed it. There's Bum Doodlers where I ate. Right across the street is Action Automotive. They directed me to the custom shop that's right down here. Hey, shout out to Action Automotive. here in Kerrville, because those guys were, I mean, top notch, man. They of course knew what they were doing, but they directed me to a couple shops in the area for motorcycle. But ultimately, and right there, Mary's Tacos is where we're gonna go eat. But ultimately, this is the one that I settled on because it was right next to them, basically. I'm early, so the shop doesn't open until 9. I think it's about 8:30, which is totally cool with me. I am in no rush, but I want to make sure that I am not keeping them. Again, this is Lost Souls Motorcycle. I'm going to drop the bike off here for a little bit. I'm going to go next door, and I'm going to get a breakfast taco. Alright, won't lie, I have a lot more into that than what I realized. I don't know if the Twisted Sisters have names. Like, maybe one of them's D. We're gonna ride from Leakey out to Bandera. I was talking to some bicyclists. They were at the camp, they were coming through, and they had that hurricane coming through, a lot of storms. I was talking about, you know, the road condition that was out at the camp wasn't real good, and it was slick from the rain, and it wasn't this blacktop, it was a brown, you know, whatever. It almost looked like loose. It looked like gravel, but it wasn't, you know. It was actually a road, you know, it was paved, but it was slick. When it got wet, it was like all those little rocks that were down, they were all slick, you know, like river rock. And then when there was water on them, they were just slippery. And I was going around a turn, just kind of leaning a little bit, and my rear wheel slipped. I felt it, you know, and then for a second I was like, oh no, I'm gonna low side this beast. But I wasn't going too fast. I was kind of putting because it was raining, you know, and I recovered. It's no big deal. But I was talking to the bicyclist about this, and he said, you know, you experience it on a motorcycle more so than a car, and more so on a bicycle you experience the condition of the road itself. The conversation went on to be like, well, you just, you know, you got to pay attention to the condition of the road, you got to slow down. And that topic of slowing down became like the topic. Freedom is special, guys. Freedom is very special. Never give up freedom. No, it's freedom or it's death. Slow down. So that's what I did today, is after talking to the bicyclist, slow down. I would not be here on this road if I didn't take that advice from the bikers to slow down. When the young lady was telling me about this road being close enough to the camp I could probably hit it, I thought, okay, yeah, I'll look into it, you know. And I saw it and I was like, yeah, this is something worth doing. And then with doing the oil change and the brakes, it really caught up, you know, time just slipped away, and I was like, man, I wanted to be on the road, you know. I wanted to push. I wanted to be out in Houston here this evening, and I was just going to blow it all off, be like, I got to get on the road, I got to go. But I'm pushing myself, I'm rushing, and I had to tell myself, you got to slow down.
Breaking up with the devil was the hardest part. When there's alcohol on your breath, regret in your heart, it pains you and drains you till it's all you can do just to breathe. Our heroes, the greats, the victors of late, the lovers who blamed them to rest say, it's better to have risk, achieve or to fail, than to never have a run with the best. So ride on, my friend, ride on. Make a little history and break free from the pack. The best of the best, never look back. So ride on. devil he comes back around, taunting us with another round. I always thought as long as your wheels kept on spinning, you'd never be forced to slow down. He slowed you down. Ride on, my friend, ride on. Make a little history and break free from the past. The best of the best, never look back. Ride on till dawn comes, and live like there ain't no tomorrow. For after the thrill's gone and a ride still goes on, be one of the last ones still hanging on. And ride on till dawn comes, and live like there ain't no tomorrow. For after the thrill's gone and the ride still goes on, be one of the last ones still hanging on. Be one of the ones still hanging on. And ride on, ride on.
Not sure which sister that run was, but that's the end of the run. I'm gonna pull in here, I'm gonna top off my fuel, and then I'm gonna head in towards San Antonio. From there I will continue on to Houston. So this has been a good run. I'm glad you guys were a part of it. If you have not subbed yet, this is your chance to do so. Guys, you can always change your mind later. I appreciate the help on the channel. Much love, much respect. Take care.